Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA with me, Seamus Brady, and for this one I'm joined by journalist from Mayo, Chloe Lynch, and we're just going to run through the Donegal versus Dublin match which took place in the Ladies Football Championship quarter-final of 2022. Another heartbreak for Dublin, dumped out by Kerry in the men's and dumped out now by Donegal in the ladies, and I have to say, Chloe, I didn't see this one coming. Donegal, Geraldine McLaughlin, Karen Guthrie, Yvonne Bonner, all coming to the fore. What a victory for them.
Fair play to them. It was the massive kind of shocker throughout the ladies' games the past weekend. Dublin just I think they just went in thinking that they had it in the bag, and the big question since their last loss to Meath, last year, everyone's wondering could they come back, and obviously it took Donegal a bit too easy, and the outcome showed the price, and fair play to Donegal, and I wish them all the best, really.
Yeah, and that's a good point about maybe keeping one eye on Meath, because obviously Meath are on the other side of that. They were waiting for Dublin in the semi-final type thing potentially, and maybe Dublin were thinking, let's just get through this game and get ready for Meath. And Donegal hit them in a crazy spell there of 11 minutes. 3 goals that Donegal scored. The first coming from Yvonne Bonner. She slammed it in after being set up by Amy Boyle-Carr. Then Karen Guthrie, first a long Niamh Hegarty ball to Bonner. Then she set up Guthrie for that goal. And then a third one, Guthrie shot for a point, dropping into the net past Ciara Trant. That made it 3-7 to Donegal, 6 points to Dublin. And the game was over after them 11 minutes, really.
It was from a Dublin perspective, obviously you'd be so embarrassed. You'd want to know what happened, what was said in that dressing room. What happened? The question everyone has to be asking now, what happened to the dominance we see all throughout the years? Because in ladies football, same as the men's over the past few years, you'd be oh no, we have Dublin now, but they've they've lost their edge since that Meath defeat, and I just think there's a lot of recuperation to be done before they can get back to winning ways.
Yeah, I feel like we were solid enough in the group stages. I thought we got some good wins there. We beat Cavan, we beat Mayo, which was a good victory, and then we beat Tipperary as well. But in this one, I just think those 11 minutes from the 43rd minute to the 54th minute, we were just asleep, and conceding a goal in a very similar way to the way that Emma Duggan's goal went in the final last year, a shot for a point, you could argue, that dropped short into the net. It's disappointing, but regardless, this team has been a fantastic team for Dublin. We've been in the last 8 All-Ireland finals. That's absolutely incredible. The likes of Carla Rowe, the likes of Lindsay Davey, the likes of Sinead Ahern have given impeccable service, and they've nothing left to owe to this Dublin team. Do you think it's time now maybe Mick Bohan tries to go more of a youthful approach to this team, because it's been shown this year that we've fallen short at the quarter-final stage?
100%. We're seeing it now with Mayo. Michael Moyles is bringing, when you compare, say, the Mayo side now to what it was a few years ago, it's a totally different team. I think Dublin just kind of have to take a leaf out of Mayo's book, because Michael Moyles is bringing everyone new in, and they've got to go past semi-final, and I think he'd want to start getting, Dublin would want to start preparing for when the likes of say Sinead Ahern leaves, and kind of just prepare who's going to fill the shoes, because Dublin's dominance, both men and ladies, throughout the years has been phenomenal, and obviously they want to get back to winning ways, but in my opinion now they just have to take that leaf out of Mayo's book, and it's working for Mayo, why can't it work for Dublin?
Exactly. And the one thing when you're talking about the attack, Dublin only actually hit 1 point in the entire first half, and that was a free, so we didn't even score from play. That's shocking. That's never going to win you a game at this level.
Mick Bohan just has to, he has the time now to recuperate, it's embarrassing, because we know how brilliant Dublin is as a side, and that's not the Dublin we've seen throughout the years, and you have to wonder what happened, but every time in a championship season there's always that one team that or one or two teams that pull off the shocker. Like we saw that with Meath last year, and like, you know, Donegal, I'm not 100% up to date in their history, but you know, they were the well-deserved team, and you know, be interested now next week or this week to see how it goes. But you know, kind of as I was saying, Dublin have the team, they have the resources, and they just have to use this time to recuperate.
Yeah, no, like I said there was that game a couple of years ago during the pandemic where Dublin played Donegal, and Donegal were right there neck and neck with Dublin the entire way through. And then Dublin got that crazy goal where Schneiderhan hit the post. It bounced weirdly in the goal mouth and went back into the net, and Dublin went on to win. But I remember that day seeing the problems that Yvonne Bonner was causing Dublin with the power and the pace that she has, the problems that Geraldine McLaughlin was causing. And I was saying, look, 2 years on from that, Dublin aren't the champions anymore. Everyone on that team is a couple of years older. The same with Donegal, but their age profile is younger. And I'm thinking, look, this might be actually the perfect storm to catch Dublin. I still thought Dublin would win, but yeah, wasn't to be. And Donegal go into the next round now where they will play against Meath. And speaking of that game, there's another match review of that game here on the channel. So make sure you check that one out, as well as the one for Kerry Armagh and Mayo Cork. That's this match review, guys, on Play on GAA. Until the next one, take care.